So this is going to be a real life review of the Beatbot. So got this for my birthday about a week ago. Have used it about 6 times. Been running it kind of once a day. Went online, and the weird thing online is that a lot of the reviews seem to be like sponsored reviews. So just kind of wanted to just post something that's kind of a real life review to kind of tell you if you buy this thing, kind of what to expect. Um, First off, for the most part, I'm pretty satisfied with it. Question of longevity, of course. I think that's going to be a big, kind of answer to long term whether I feel as though the purchase is worth it or not. I mean, it's not, not a cheap option, but if you're buying one of these things, you probably like me and just you've had the pressure side pool cleaners, and they're absolutely amazing when they're working right. But it seems like you're just constantly working on them. After the first year, I would say. I mean, the first year I had my Polaris, pressure cleaner, it worked great. But it seems like you're just always playing with it, trying to figure out what's wrong now, and that's just the reality of it. So I have two of them. They're both kind of, halfway working when they want to. And I'm probably at the point where my booster pump is at the point where it's close to end of life. So I didn't know if I wanted to kind of make the investment and buy a new booster pump and buy a new robot. I'm sorry, a new pressure cleaner. I just wasn't sure I wanted to do that. So I wanted to try one of these robots first. And actually, I really wanted a more of a corded one, but I didn't put any stipulations on the family, and they actually came up with this. I think my son did some research, and this is what they got me for my birthday. And thus far, I'm pretty satisfied with it. Um, it's not a pressure side pool cleaner, and what I mean by that is that I don't think this thing is really convenient if you're trying to bring a pool back. Like or in the heavy leaf season. Like I have a lot of trees around my pool, as you can see. So when the leaves start to fall, and it's just I don't know if I'll be able to put this in the water. It just I will see. But I think this is a great maintenance robot. I think that's more what it's designed for. Your pool is together already. You're just trying to stay ahead of it and not have to be, out brushing it and doing all that kind of stuff. I mean, this robot is great for that. I mean, I've been running mine a lot just because the first week, of course, you got it. You want to see how it performs, and then also, I've been playing with the pool, kind of killing off some algae. I had some black algae that I was working on getting rid of, and I still got, I think it's a little mustard algae in there a little bit that I'm working on. So, I'm almost there. I'm about 90% there to having the pool kind of in perfect shape for the summer. But all in all, the robot is actually it does what it says it does. It runs for about 3 hours. You guys can see the modes. It has like a couple of different modes. It goes up the walls very well. You know, uh, it's not perfect, but it's pretty impressive for the size of the machine. It really seems to be pretty effective. I mean, when it's done, there's no debris left in the pool. And I get debris every day because I constantly, around these trees, I constantly have debris. I think what it's best at is picking up like fine sands and things like that. I think from that standpoint, it does more than what a pressure side pool cleaner can do, because this thing really does picks up any fine material. The filter basket is very, very tight knit. You literally have to clean it every time you put it in, because if you don't, the filter kind of gets clogged up, and you'll get kind of an error when you're running it. Um, and it doesn't operate correctly if the filter basket gets clogged. So the one thing, if you do buy this, make sure you spray it out every day after. Yeah, make sure you spray it out every day after you use it, because if you don't, and most definitely don't take it out the pool and not spray the basket, because the sediment is so fine that it gets hard and it becomes very kind of difficult to clean it. It's not difficult, but it takes a lot longer to clean it versus if you just spray it out as soon as you pull it out the pool. So you better off letting it sit in the pool if you don't have time to clean the basket, then pull it out the pool and sit it to the side and come back a couple of days later and try to clean the basket, because then it becomes more of a task. Just because it really does a great job at like getting up sand. Like if you're in like a sandy area, I mean, I highly recommend this thing. Like if you know, if you're in like, I don't know, Mexico or New Mexico or like Arizona or somewhere where you get, where you guys deal with a lot more sand versus leaves, then this thing is almost a must-have because it really does a great job. More so, in my opinion, than a pressure side robot can do. Um, it does perform very well in that situation. Um, what else? But it does everything it says it's going to do. It cleans the bottom of the floor, it cleans the walls, it comes up and it skims the top of the pool. And whenever I ran, and other than the times I tried to run it, like multiple times without cleaning the basket because there wasn't much in it. I didn't think, I said I don't need to dump it. There's not much in it. But what I realized, you'll get an error and it'll start to kind of act erratic if you put it in there with the basket not being clean. So you really do need to spray the machine out every time you spray the basket out every time you use it. But other than that, it works great. I would say probably some of the drawbacks versus a pressure side cleaner is just that, with a pressure side cleaner is, you can keep it in a pool. My pressure this time of year, I could keep a pressure side cleaner in a pool for a couple of weeks, and there's not enough big debris falling to the point where you have to pull it out immediately every day or anything. So with this one, you do have to, take it out, every time you use it, and charge it. Plus, the battery really is only good for one cleaning, from what I've seen thus far with the size of my pool. It's pretty much dead by the time I bring it out. But all in all, I mean, I don't think it's a bad purchase. I mean, I think that it actually performs pretty well. The main thing is going to be see the longevity of the battery, I guess. And then, with something like this, it's just over time, how well does it stay sealed up? You know, the nature of it is under the water. The buttons are like sealed with like a rubber material. I'm assuming to keep water out. So, I mean, if it stays operating consistently, it comes with a 3-year warranty, then, it's not a bad purchase at all. It's very convenient from the standpoint of you don't have any cords or anything to deal with. And, they give you a little hook. It floats up to the surface and goes towards the edge when it's done. And, it'll hang out there for a while until, if you leave it in there too long, it'll drift off to the middle of the pool, and they give you a hook to be able to kind of retrieve it. But all in all, so far I'm pretty pleased with it. It's performing as good or not better than what I was hoping for. It's not. It moves kind of methodically. It's not. Kind of going to town with some kind of intensity, like you know, um, which is to be expected. It's trying to conserve the battery and it's taking its time. But thus far the coverage is good, and the pool looks good when it's done. So that's kind of my review on it, man. It's the Beatbot Aquasense 2, I believe it is. I believe it's more the entry level when they have a couple other versions that priced out a little higher. This one is, I think, just over between $1,000 and $1,100 or something right now. But yeah, it's working good. So just wanted to kind of give a review because I hadn't really seen many what seemed to be just kind of like normal people reviews. It seemed to be all kind of like influencers and stuff like that, kind of leaving reviews that to me they just didn't seem very real life. But so far I'm pretty pleased with it. I would say for me, if you have a pool, it's most definitely worth having. I don't know if it's going to be an all-in-all solution. I think this is great if you have a pressure side cleaner, um, and you want a backup, or you want to maybe use this more in when the pool is in good shape. But and throw the pressure side cleaner in when you're really trying to do some heavy duty cleaning, because I will say the pressure side cleaners, I mean, they pick up a lot when they're working. And I can't say that this one won't, but in the heavier season when you don't want to have to be kind of putting the robot in every day, then the pressure side might be a good option. So I plan on keeping that system. I mean, my pump is still working. It's still working, so I'm going to try to take care of it and keep it going and not put a lot of money into it. But we'll see how this one does once the leaves start falling in the fall. Maybe I won't need to keep it, but I don't know. That's my 2 cents. I hope it helps somebody out in making a decision. But for me, I'm satisfied with the purchase.